Disco Elysium is a detective-centered, point-and-click CRPG about many things, ranging from alcoholism to mental illness, poverty, and finally, a topic I will be focusing on, communism. In every facet of its existence, Disco Elysium is an incredibly political video game, and all of this lies with its creators. The creators of Disco Elysium, the founders of Zaum, are largely from Estonia, and have a history of rather unpopular political activism. The creators of Disco Elysium, if not communists themselves, are obviously very sympathetic to their ideals and the people behind them. While various political alignments and beliefs are shown and deconstructed over the course of the game, communism is consistently shown through a much more nuanced perspective. Throughout the game, the player can align themselves with various political factions and ideologies, ultimately culminating in a unique storyline for each of them. Whereas the fascist storyline explains the ultimately hollow life and confusing beliefs of a bigot, the communist plotline introduces the player to two college students. These characters largely take inspiration from the writers themselves. They show an interesting perspective on communism. They are two well-educated young men who drink often, wax poetic, and preach to strangers. They constantly bicker over philosophy and literature. Despite this, they are not shown to be sad, pathetic, morose. They are shown as dreamers. Despite knowing the futility of their work, they say, "In dark times, should the stars also go out?" And that they believe in communism because it's impossible. Because it is their way of saying they refuse to accept that this world has to remain. In a video game with more depressed people per capita than I have ever seen before, these two stand out as sparks of hope. This is not to say that the writers are not critical of communism, however. When given the option to opt in or out of the communism ideology, the game describes communism as an ideology of hope, needless violence, and mostly arguing with other communists. Even later in the game, Disco Elysium shows its harshest criticisms of communism, mostly through the final antagonist, the Deserter. The Deserter is the last communard. He is the last soldier fighting 50 years after the war has already ended. He is a bitter old man filled with nothing but hatred for the world around him. His dialogue is filled with venom for any given topic or person brought up. He largely dismisses anything as bourgeois, choosing instead to live in isolation from a world that has moved on from him. Even if the player has gone all out, choosing as many communist options as they can, making themselves unbearably and annoyingly communist, he will spit on you and call you a liberal. He is a broken old man defined by a philosophy he can hardly remember. He sits alone on an island, killing strangers and critiquing capital. If the two students show a brighter side of communism, the spark of hope in the youth, then the Deserter shows the darker side, an old man in hate with the world, wallowing in self-pity and misery. To say Disco Elysium is about politics largely downplays the significance of it. It shows how politics, political theory, and ideologies are present and intrinsically tied in systems everywhere. The game's take on communism not only shows the writer's personal perspective, it being an ideology of hope to the downtrodden, it also shows communism in practice as a failed ideology.